What's going on YouTube? Today I got a special video for you. Today we took a field trip and we went out to the National Videogame Museum. So let's take a look inside, and hopefully one day you'll be able to come down to Frisco, Texas and experience it for yourself. Before we step inside the National Video Game Museum, I got to give you a brief history. The National Video Game Museum started as the Classic Gaming Expo back in Las Vegas, Nevada in the late 90s, early 2000s. It was founded and originated from John Hardy, Sean Kelly, and Joe Satuli. They created the Classic Video Game Expo to show and not only the classic video games, but to show the experience of classic video games all the way up to the history, up to the now, at that time, to 2000s.
Play the game without a 32-page instruction manual or a degree in physics, and you just have a good time.
In the late 70s and early 80s, video games were simple two-dimensional diversions that required a joystick, maybe a button or two, and an imagination. Yet countless gamers still prefer the classics. So it's no wonder that more than 1,000 gamesters from around the world flock to the annual Classic Gaming Expo in Las Vegas to congregate, celebrate, and recreate the origins of the multi-billion-dollar video game industry. Here, gamers can wax nostalgic by playing the classics, engaging in tournaments, buying rare collector items, and most important, meeting the industry veterans responsible for it all.
The Classic Video Game Expo was hosted in Las Vegas, Nevada every year for roughly up till 2014, or 2014, 2015. And then at that time, the three founding members decided that it was time that they'll find create a museum for historical video games at the time, but they needed a permanent location because at that time it was just temporary. So they scoured the United States of America to find a good, perfect location for the National Museum to find its final home. And that's when they decided to land on Frisco, Texas. It was at that time, Frisco community board meetings voted unanimously for the National Video Game Museum to find its roots in Frisco, Texas. The National Video Game Museum opened its doors. The first day was within the month of April in the year of 2016. And from there forward, the museum has been open and it has been a blast to visit. Right now, it's broken down in stages. Right now, we're in stage one. Stage one is when video games first created. As you can see, you got the original home, but if you see right here, this is the brown box prototype. This is the very first console. It's even signed by Ralph H. Baird, the creator of the brown box, as you can see. And yeah, so this is before my time, actually. This is definitely before my time. I was born in 1976. Video games started in like 1972, and as you see, it's pretty crazy. This is first generation of consoles. As you see, you got the Palm, you have the Telstar, you have the Odyssey, you have, where is the ColecoVision? You have the ColecoVision, and then also you have the Nintendo, which I'm surprised they got an actual copy of the Nintendo Color TV. The Nintendo Color TV is the first winner of the first generation. All these years I thought the Magnavox, the Odyssey, which you see up there, I thought the Odyssey was the winner, but actually, quite frankly, it's the Nintendo Color Television. Sold over 300 million copies. Units. 300 million units. Alright, as you can hear, this is stage 2. I'm not going to show you all the stages because you got to come down here and see it yourself, but this is stage 2. This is the wall of all the consoles. As you can see, you start off with the Odyssey, Atari. My very first system is the Atari 2600, which is right there. The Atari 2600, I started out with that system, but then it goes through the years of all the systems. So, and then my second system was the Sega Master Systems. You got the Genesis, the Lynx. My favorite system of all time, the TurboGrafx 16, because cut lawns and bought it myself. Super NES, 3DO, Pico, the Jaguar, PlayStation. I don't see the Neo Geo. Oh, Neo Geo CD. Go all the way over here to current time, the GameCube, the original Xbox. And then we have the Xbox One with Major Nelson's signature on it. Who knew? And then you got the PlayStation 4. You don't have the PlayStation 5 or the Xbox Series X up here yet, but it's coming. The new systems are going to get announced any day now. Okay, this game right here is a classic called Dragon's Lair. I remember the first time I played this game, I was 8 years old. I was at Wheels End. If you know, you know. Wheels End, and I thought this game had the best graphics. You had to play as a cartoon. Dragon's Lair. This is like the first game you had to pay like $1.04 to play. It was crazy. It was crazy. I thought it was like the best looking game ever created. Who knew? This is where it all started for me. You had the Atari 2600 CBS. I was 3 years old when I got my first console. This is my very first console. At the time back then, it was $299. So roughly with the inflation and economy, that's over $599 in today's time. But this was my first console. My very first 3 games was Combat, Baseball, and Pitfall. They're down here somewhere. But this is an actual working. This is an actual working Atari 2600, and they have the worst game ever created. Well, the second worst game ever created, E.T. If you go in Arizona, you can find like millions of these copies in the landfill somewhere. But yeah, it works. This game was horrible, very horrible, very horrible game. But also, I'm kind of mad at Video Games Museum because they have one of the most controversial games in here. If you look over here, there used to be a game here. It was called Custer's Revenge. And basically, it was the first adult pornographic video game ever created. Basically, you play as General Custer, and your whole mission was to go around raping Indian women. Very, very, very disrespectful. And as you can see, it's no longer there. They took it down. Rightfully so. What video game museum is an arcade? This is an arcade. This is a game I used to play. Joust, Frogger, right over here, Centipede. My mom used to play Centipede, but she used to play Millipede. You know, on the other side is Miss Pac-Man. This is Junior Pac-Man. And then, of course, you gotta have Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. You know what I'm saying? It's a classic. And over there in the corner is Snap Into Edition Street Fighter. You know, and then as you can see right here, Miss Pac-Man, and then there's Mortal Kombat 2 right there, and then the classic Rampage right here. But other than that, that's it, man. Hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later. I'm out.